Hey everybody, Pat Flannery coming at you from Canadian Rental Service Magazine, and I'm really excited to be joined today by our keynote speaker, our big event at the Rental Mart that's coming up in Calgary. It's Dawn Bloomer from Productive Pleasure. Productive Pleasure. That's I shouldn't have said that. Productive Pressure, and she's
Well, that too. We have a lot of fun. So
yeah, that's right. That's just how I roll here on Counter Talks, and we're going to talk a little bit about Dawn's presentation and her workshop that she's going to be offering at the Canadian Rental Mart that really everybody's got to get out to. So let's start first of all by saying hi, Dawn, and tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
hi, Patrick. Well, as you said, I run a company called Productive Pressure, and that comes from the idea that pressure can be really productive. And those of us who are overachievers and accomplishing great things, we're under a lot of pressure. But what I do is I help businesses run better. I spend a lot of time helping people either prepare to sell their business or just make their business run better and grow and flourish. But I always like to start with the end in mind. So for me, a lot of it is about what do you want out of your business and how does it help support your life? And so it's all about making your business better for those reasons.
Fantastic, and that's what I wanted to bring to the Rental Mart, because we've got an opportunity here, folks. You're out of the store, you're away from the shop. You've got some time that you've set aside to be out and working on the business, not in the business, as we say. And so I wanted to give everybody an opportunity to, hey, let's sit down, let's think about what we do for a little while. And let's get help from an expert, a person who really knows a lot about this stuff, and have a conversation, right? I mean, we're going to be looking for an interactive discussion session here. Dawn is going to make it fun. I know she will, and we're going to grab our lunch. We're going to sit down at tables. And Dawn's just going to chat with you guys, and we're gonna do a little work on the business, right, Dawn?
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I mean, literally bring your lunch,
Yeah.
come sit down. We're going to have a lot of fun. One of the things that we're going to do is an interactive assessment. We're going to be able to take a look at some of these things we're going to talk about and how is your business doing in those areas, so that when you walk away, you'll actually have an action plan of next best steps. So what should you do when you go back? Because as you pointed out, trade shows are awesome, and going to trade shows it's always fun. You get all jazzed up, you meet new people, you see all these possibilities. But often we go back and we get into the day-to-day and we don't act on a lot of that stuff. So what I want to do is give you actionable takeaways so that when you leave, you know what you want to do next to take things to the next level.
Fantastic. Okay, we're going to keep this short, but just to let you know, I want everybody to have an idea of what Dawn's going to be talking about. She has developed a sort of a broad concept called the 7 Drivers of Business Success. And basically we're just going to run down those quickly. Dawn's going to give us the quick FYI, so that you can come in armed with an idea of what the conversation's going to be. Let's start with your first one, Dawn, is leadership depth. Now, this to me, it was funny. We were just talking before about how I can only take my vacation in 1-day increments because I feel like if I leave, everything comes to a grinding halt. I assume that's sort of the concept here.
It is. And you're not alone, right? We all think that we're the center of the universe, and sometimes we are. And so that's something that's really important to work on. And I have some great tips and tricks about how you can make it so that you are not the thing that the business relies on. I talk about the fall down factor. So that's great, Patrick, if you're the only one, but what happens if you fall down? What happens if something happens to you and you need to take a break for some reason? So this is by far one of the most important things we'll talk about.
You spend
And it's
half
fun.
yes,
You get more
yeah.
time. Get more time back.
You spend half your career trying to set yourself up to become indispensable to the company, and then once you are, you have to find a way to
Exactly. Well, and to your
it.
point, exactly. And we're going to talk about that because you can't be working on your business if you're always working in your business. And so it's baby steps, but there are lots of ways we can work on that. And it's super important because it's one of the most fun aspects once you master it.
Great conversation to be had there. Systemized operations. This sounds to me like having a plan and just having a way that you do things instead of pulling it out of your butt every time a new situation comes up. But that's me.
Exactly.
Am I right? Am I right, Don?
That's pretty much it. We're going to go into a little more depth than that.
Okay.
Pun, but but yeah, that's basically it. It's about making your business predictable and efficient, and making sure that you have quality across the board, every day the same.
Yeah, perfect. Good. Growth strategy. What do you need to think about there?
Well, I think a lot of people, especially coming out of COVID, are very focused on growth. And growth is really important. Growth can also be risky. So you want to understand why you want to grow, and then that will help you decide how you want to grow, whether you want to grow from the inside or whether you want to grow from, acquiring things on the outside, like acquisitions. So it's really important to understand why you want to grow and what the risks are associated with it before you undertake that. Because growth sounds sexy, right? And fun. And
Yeah.
it is, and it can be, but there's a lot to be unpacked in that area. So we're going to definitely talk about that.
Very topical in the rental industry right now, with many companies acquiring one another, mom and pops becoming small chains or large chains. There's growth is something a lot of people face, a lot of people look at, and a lot of people manage more or less effectively. It's just a great topic, and I think anybody in a rental store really needs to want to come and have that conversation. Recurring revenue. Love that one, because I feel like it goes to the idea of service and making sure you're responding to your customers and doing the things that they need you to do. Am I on the right track there, Don?
You're on the right track. And additionally, the thing about recurring revenue is if you can find places where you can actually engage people in paying you regularly, even when it seems like you think you only offer a one-off service, there are often opportunities to get people to pay you on a recurring basis. And I'm not going to give too much away, because I want to work on helping people brainstorm this idea, because it's often one of those things that once you flip the switch and you start thinking about it, you can't unsee it. It's sort of like Netflix. Netflix is a subscription, right? So places where you can have subscriptions. I don't want to give too much away. We'll talk about it.
No, that's
no, that's not possible. I don't want to give it all away.
No, that's
talk about it.
So people come ready to talk to Dawn about opportunities you might think of in your business where you can get people on a program with you, and there's going to be an interactive conversation here, so it's not just going to be Dawn talking about generics. So there's an opportunity to address your specific situation.
And Patrick, one thing I didn't mention is, I do, in addition to being a business consultant, I'm an M&A advisor. So I do mergers and acquisitions. I, bought, sold, grew, and acquired businesses in my previous business. And so, you're welcome to ask me questions along those lines. I have, that's what I spend a lot of time doing. That's why this stuff is so exciting to me, is because these are the things that will set you up to be the type of business that can either acquire other businesses or be sold.
I love it.
All the things that we're talking about are things that are going to make your business more valuable and more fun to run while you have it.
I like it. Risk management, more than just buying insurance. Right?
Yes, more than just buying insurance. There are so many pieces to risk management. And interestingly enough, risk management in and of itself is one of the cheapest ways to improve the success and sustainability of your company. It also makes it more valuable, and it's one of the cheapest ways to make it more valuable.
I'm intrigued. Hopefully everyone.
I'm not telling you any more than that, Patrick. Because you and I will just start chatting, and I'll give it all away, and nobody.
I know. This is I know. I said I was going to keep this short, and like as if you and I can have a short conversation.
I know, right?
Yeah. Customer base. What are we? Everybody needs a customer base. What are we thinking about there?
Everybody needs a customer base, but you don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. So we're going to talk about what the importance of considering who your customer base is and whether it's good the way it is or whether you need to make improvements.
Ooh,
And there's
managing
all
your own
sorts of
customer.
stuff in here about customer experience and all sorts of juicy goodness in there. So
Ooh, I like that. I like that idea. And last of all, scalability. Yes. How do we think about that one?
So oftentimes we think about growing and scaling as being the same thing, but they're different, and we'll talk about it. But scaling is the ability of your business to expand without your existing structure hampering it. So it's about growing efficiently and increasing revenue without like increasing your costs at the same time. So it's a fun thing to look at because sometimes growing may be too risky, but if you get some of these other things in place, scaling then becomes an option.
Folks, those are Don Bloomer's seven drivers of business success, and obviously we have just scratched the surface. But I am going to cut this off because it is absolutely necessary that you come to the Rental Mart on October 17th in Calgary at the BMO Center, and with your free admission, you can come and sit down, as we said, at lunch, over lunch and beyond, and have all of these discussions with Don. I guarantee you it will be worth your time, and we're going to have fun. So this is what's happening. Don, I want to thank you so much for doing this, and I want to thank you so much for your insights on all of these topics. And I think we're going to have a great day at the Rental Mart on October 17th.
It's going to be awesome. Can't wait to see everyone.